Hello, and welcome to Blades and Banners, a Tales of the Valiant actual play set in the Eberron campaign world. Mia, what happened last time?
Okay, so the crew met with Leshturga, and she asked us if we knew why it was that we were pulled together and given this ship. And none of us knew, and she was not interested in telling us and thinks it's a pleasant little mystery that's driving all of us crazy. And then we had about a week as the ship was getting put together. It's not repaired. It's just the ship was being built. And we each sort of did our own thing. Ellie Wise was making notes about the comings and goings, and specifically around Oren's notebook. We're just going to call it Oren's notebook.
Okay.
Oren learned about Vale. Oren and Sahina both would go and see if we would periodically check in to see if it was time for us to be able to move in yet. And Sahina asked for a stage in the ship and was completely rebuffed.
Mm-hmm.
And Finian spent his time working on the suit of armor, or opening it up and investigating it. And then at the very end, we set sail with our new flag and our new ship with its beautiful mast that is not a ram. And the end. Mast is the wrong word.
Figurehead.
That is not a ram.
It's true.
The end.
Nailed
If
it.
you took the mast down, one could
And
theoretically
turned it-
use
yeah.
it as a ram, held it. No. Anyway. Yeah. So, you all have set sail and have taken on a task from Leshturga to go investigate an unscheduled stop on a cargo ship owned by a rival principality, the Riptide Principality, on Red Watch. And you all have decided to go and investigate that. So the question then is, what's your approach to this? Are you going to try and intercept this vessel at sea? Are you going to head to Vale and snoop around in the town and try to find out what's going on? What's the plan?
Oren, what did you find in your preparations here?
Yes, I found out some general information about Vale and its history, but the big things are it's very necromantic in nature. It's heavily influenced by Karnathi culture, and they have an export of an alchemical powder made from coral that can enhance necromancy. Perhaps there's some application of Mabaran magic similar to what we have going on with Fernia, with our things at Cinderport. So perhaps something related to that export. But that's what I generally have. Callus Vanitar founded it. He defected from the Karnathi military during the war and became a sea prince, as it were, and founded his settlement in Vale, popped up around it. So that's the general broad strokes of what I've got.
Do you have a sense if they're stopping to drop off or to pick up? You think it'd be better for us to see what they're going to or what they're bringing there?
I think it could be either. I think that Callus, being a relatively new sea prince, might be looking to establish allies, and Riptide might be looking to take advantage of that and build some kind of alliance by bringing something to them. Or additionally, he may have contacted them about smuggling something away and picking something up. It could be either. I think our best bet would be to be in Vale, unless we just want to board their ship and beat the truth out of them. But Leshturga did ask us to be discreet in our approach, and I don't think that would be discreet. Not discreet, deniable. So, I mean, if we killed everyone, then also sure, but I don't think that was the mandate either. I'm open to other possibilities, though, but that would be how I would approach it.
I think you're right. I think being in Vale gives us the most opportunities for deniability and information. If we can observe them and also mess up the ship, then that would be to our advantage.
True.
All right, then. So, as we sail there, what are our thoughts on whether we ought to be marked, flying the flag, let it be known who's sailing in?
I think as it stands right now, it makes sense for us to fly our colors. It offers us a certain level of, ships get picked off in these seas all the time if they're just sailing about without any kind of protection or authority. And so if we're not flying colors, then we are likely to attract people looking to take advantage of a lone ship. Whereas while we fly these colors, the name of Leshturga literally looms over our ship.
I'm not opposed to that. I fear we've a limited amount of time where anonymity with this ship is viable. It's the only reason I'm presenting it as an option, because we're not exactly aboard something which will remain unnoticed.
True. We could also divide and conquer if obviously this ship is going to be docking at Vale for however much time, and their crew will likely disembark to get supplies and be off the ship. We could try to have some of you, if you are more inclined to subterfuge and sneaking about, you could try to get on their ship and see if you can find anything, while others try to take a more direct vocal approach with finding out information. Divide and conquer, as it were.
I don't know that I'm so good with subterfuge because I'm so tall. So I don't think I'm easily spy-y. So I'll go with whomever goes goes. Not me for the spy stuff.
Right, clearly more for the talking side. Got
Yes.
it. Right, yeah.
I don't really
All right.
want to talk either, but
Are any of us... what would you like to do, Sahina?
well, I mean, I really enjoy hanging out at home with Aggie and, giving her little scruffs and practicing my perform. Is that what you're asking? What I like to do?
In the context of what we are currently doing and setting out to do, what would you like to do?
I would like to go with you, Oren. You seem to know what you're doing.
I love that you think that. Thank you. Are any of us... We've worked together on ships, but is anybody good at sneaking about, skulking about, spying?
I'm not
I am small,
bad at it.
but
So maybe
I'm
subterfuge isn't this group's
fine.
strong suit. Because the last time you used the word fine is, in your opinion, of Terran, which was not
Right.
good. So I'm going to take that your
now we know.
stealthiness is not good. Oh God, every time I've asked you how your day's been and you've said fine, have you been crying out for help?
Oh no.
We ought to keep on with the conversation at hand. I'm not one for the feeling sort of speech.
Do you want to say more
Anybody
about
else have
that?
any thoughts?
I truly don't. Truly.
a quick revisit to a previous. We talked about the flag conversation, and I am with Finian on this. Well, I guess he didn't have an opinion, but also pointed out we could be anonymous for a little bit longer, and that seems also to be advantageous when trying to deny something.
It's true.
So I just wanted to revisit that just a little bit more.
If we're going to do that, then we need to come up with a story as to who we are while we're assuming anonymity, so that we're on the same page when we're questioned when we go to Docket Vale, because they're going to ask who we are, where we're coming from, why we're here. So we need to have that.
I bet you're great at coming up with stories. And we could
I was
have
thinking
characters.
Do we need costumes? Because I could definitely put together some costumes. But this is not like that, right?
This is more of a verbal story.
Okay.
Oh.
To elicit, basically telling them, oh, we are coming out from Kabara, New Galifar, and we're looking to pick up supplies as we continue on our journey northward. Something like that.
Oh,
I mean, that sounded,
it sounds like you
good.
just came up with a story.
Yeah.
I was just giving an example. We would need to, then they would ask, oh, where are you headed? And then we would need to have the next part of that story.
Well, I mean, you've got that covered, right? I mean, you did the first part. The second part probably won't be bad.
Such as we are envoy from New Galifar to establish relations with High Prince Rygar. And then, yes, sure.
There we go.
Okay.
Finian puts a hand on Oren's shoulder and goes, apologies, mate. Right, man.
So we're taking the colors down then, is what it sounds like. So that we can be anonymous when we arrive.
I'm not opposed to the idea of flying them for setting a reputation. I didn't necessarily, looking at Ellie, think that anonymity was necessary, just worth considering. Are you concerned for any particular reason about us being known as there?
Yes. If we get caught, which we all just agreed we were bad at stealth.
I'm fine.
Right, which is
stealth.
bad.
I'm not,
yes, we are
I'm
fine
good
at stealth. There we go.
I'm good at not getting caught. Well, I'm good at getting out of getting caught.
How are
easily
you
be found
at getting
talk my way out of it.
3 others also not getting caught?
It depends on.
To be fair, everyone's good at it until they're not.
If we find ourselves in a situation,
I like that,
where we need to we need to talk a way out of something. Like somebody's like, "Hey, why are you all here?" If the other 3 people involved allow me to try and talk a way out of it, then my success rate is typically really good. If they start
that felt very pointed.
Contradictory information or asking me questions about what I'm saying while I'm trying to talk, then the success rate goes down dramatically. If that makes sense.
I thought I was impressively quiet at the Leshdurga conversation, so I can.
I'm not saying
hold
be
my
quiet
tongue
all the time. I'm saying in a very specific instance of we are like on the ship sneaking about, and one of those crewmates comes like, "Hey, what are you all doing here?" And then I
looking
start
for
trying to
ghosts.
talk
We'll
about
just say, ask him.
See?
Oh, or looking for ghosts. Yeah, that works too.
Oren just looks at me.
Oh, this one's not on me, mate.
I'm just saying, we as a crew have not figured out how to crew together.
That's true. This is a good conversation.
And so maybe we don't. Maybe Leshdurga doesn't want whatever we have to offer our first attempt.
Sure. My biggest concern, to counter and make me question ever bringing the topic up is if we're as bad as you're worried we might be.
Oh, just you three, not me.
Lovely that. That's why we, if crewing doesn't crew as well, then perhaps we might already be breaking the quite enthusiastic promise that was made to not lose this ship.
No. I didn't say we weren't going to lose the ship. I just said we'd make them proud.
Right. And try really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the words.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I think through this conversation, we may have touched on a pretty good potential in with both the leadership of Vale and the members of the crew from Riptide on Red Watch. In that, we could say that we are, if we assume a level of anonymity when we dock in Vale, we could say that we are envoys from New Galavar in Kabara, on our way to Regalport to try to establish relations between our settlement as we are growing and trying to establish a new society in a fierce jungle, and seeking a relationship with another young burgeoning nation. That could potentially be bait on a hook for both the leadership of Vale and these people from Riptide to curry favor with us and perhaps give us information about what they're up to in order to gain an alliance with us, perhaps.
Player question? Just about this. A ship not flying colors. The concern for me is, does that look suspicious? So, like, drawing more attention without the colors. So that is...
Not necessarily. It suggests that you are not on the official business of anyone.
But just the act itself isn't like, whoop, whoop, red flag or anything. Like
No.
That. Okay. All right, thank you.
Can't be a red flag because you're not
I knew
flying
it. I
any
knew.
colors.
I knew as soon as I said
Boom.
Apparently can't be a pink flag either, but all right.
Does anybody else have any thoughts about how we could approach this investigatory mission of trying to find out what's going on with this odd stuff? Where are they, Philip? I know she said, where are they headed to from?
They were headed to
Watch?
Regalport,
Okay.
which is the capital in such a sense as the Laws of Principalities has a capital.
So they're going out of their way pretty
They're
handily.
going out of their way to come to Vale. That is what has raised Leshturga's interest. Is they're coming out of their way and they are crossing the gauntlet to do it, and that suggests both importance and suspiciousness.
I think you've got a good plan. Oren.
I have a plan.
Okay, well, I
You're
thought it
fine.
was good. I didn't say it
I
was
appreciate
a fine
that.
plan. Okay.
Okay, thank you. No, I appreciate it.
It's fine.
So much of how you choose to be is...
Okay, so
Ellie-wise? Sorry.
Just the usual, we can, nothing outside of that other than we can make sure to watch the ship and who they meet with, and we can maybe try to sneak up on the ship and investigate the cargo.
Do we know, Philip, the relation, like, obviously Leshturga does not like Riptide.
right.
Is that a mutual dislike? Okay.
Yes, very much. Yeah, the Ashfords do not like Leshturga.
Ashfords.
She's an upstart, and they're responsible for the rumor that she's responsible for the death of Jorge the Black, the last Stormclaw prince.
So an alternative path, if we wanted to fly our colors so that we have the protection and yada yada yada, and not coming and flying without colors, is we could present ourselves as ripe for defection, because I'm sure Riptide would be eager to snatch up some of Leshdurga's people and gain information from us. We could obviously feed them false information in exchange for information about their journey.
So, Haina, do you think you could pretend to hate Leshdurga? I mean, yes, I'm glad you heard that, as respectful as I intended, because it's a big ask, I fear.
It is. It is, but I suppose I could dig deep. I'm a performer. I can as long as I don't have to talk too much. Yes.
Right. Maybe just grumble when you hear her name mentioned.
Okay. All right, I'll channel Aggie while she's hungry. All right, good. Yeah, I got it.
Perfect.
I got this.
Terrified
I got you
to
all.
experience that in person.
No, she's fine. It's just a few little bites here and there. It's just fine.
She's fine. Love it. Great. Great.
You've tainted a word.
So,
Yes.
sailing to Vale.
Yes.
Right. So you
Y'all want to sing a
set
sea shanty?
course north towards Vale, carrying you out into the southern reaches of the Gauntlet. Vale's not very far. Like you will reach Vale within the day. It's not a long journey. So sailing over the course of the day, as you get farther north into the Gauntlet, let's ask who functions as the primary lookout for your vessel when you are sailing for your ship. Perception is obviously a good skill for that.
2.
I have a +4.
Oh.
+6.
Not me.
Okay.
Ellie
I think it's me.
Yeah.
So I want to know what Ellie Wise acting as lookout looks like on the ship.
This is a skill versus suitability in action.
Just everything. Ooh.
Just because you're the best at it doesn't mean you should be trusted.
Every dolphin is going to be news for weeks.
I love that you think she's only pointing out things that you can see.
Oh, how far away is Finian's workshop from the deck? Is important in this moment.
It would be below the deck.
Thank goodness. Carry on.
Ellie Wise absolutely chooses this position because she wants to see anything and everything that might possibly be there. And so as imagined, she will adjust to her crew, but she will point out everything that she thinks people would find fascinating, which is most things before she gets to better understand.
Where does Ellie Wise perform this task from? Is Ellie Wise up in the rigging? Is Ellie Wise perching on the figurehead? Where does Ellie Wise do this?
The tallest point that she could get. So
Okay.
up in the rigging or on one of the masts.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Ellie Wise, you're way up there. And as you are making your way north into the Gauntlet, So it's getting into be about middle of the day, and you are well into the gauntlet, sailing towards Nine Bay. There are little wisps of mist that drift across the gauntlet on most days, and so this is not particularly strange weather. But you do see some things bobbing in the water in a sort of wide cluster that your ship is going to start passing by. Would you roll a perception check?
I will. I'm going to spend my 2 points of luck.
Okay.
Okay. 15.
15. All right. So, you, looking down, can see what appear to at first be just bits of driftwood, but then you see a more sizable chunk of what is obviously a piece of a ship that is floating its way out of the gauntlet, having clearly been destroyed. What sign of damage do you see that causes you to think that this ship is a victim of the ghost?
Ooh. There are pieces of the ship that are clearly the parts of the ship that are above the water. Like there's no reason those would have been underwater. Yet they have weird streaks of algae across them.
Oh, cool.
Eric's
This is
disapproval.
Eric is terrified of water he can't see the bottom of.
Love a pirate
so
campaign.
It is terrifying.
Yes.
I
feel
join you
that's
in this. Like
very appropriate.
Yeah.
3 years, Eric. We're gonna be here for years.
Yeah. So you see these bits of an older ship that's clearly been destroyed, obviously by the ghost, as it bobs along. But you don't see any signs of any creature or any danger itself, just the evidence that there was at some point recently. And these things just drift by. And within a couple more hours, yeah.
She does that, announce that. Like,
Yeah.
broken ship.
We need to
Now
make
you
sure
know.
we don't
Okay.
do that, as we emphatically promised.
I'm working on it.
Well done so far.
We'd like to say that Sohaina appreciates every time something is brought to attention. I don't know if she is the only character, but she definitely, ooh, like every happy to be hearing.
Excellent.
So a couple hours later, you are clearly nearing Vale. You can see the stone keep built on a bluff overlooking the sea, and down around the base of that is this town that is kind of sprawled along the coast around this little cove on Nine Bay. You can see, as you are nearing, there appears to be just a slight shimmering in the air at the entrance to the port, entrance to the harbor. And you see the ship sail through it. You can sort of see it briefly as it flows its way over the ship. As it passes you, there's just this sense of cold for a moment. and then it passes, and you're through. In here, past it, everything seems a little darker. The light's a little more diffused. Not dark, but clearly a little diffused, like when there's a lot of dust in the air or something like that. The sun gets a little weird. But you can see several ships in the harbor. And I guess Eliwise, give me one more perception check. Actually, I'll take a general perception check from anyone who would like to join in this, just to look at the ships as you're coming into harbor.
Just
I rolled
to
a
do
1.
it. Oh, okay, good.
Dirty 20.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That
Thank
will
you,
win.
Oren.
Okay. Oren, you do spot one of the ships bearing the colors of the Riptide Principality.
Okay. What are their colors?
The Riptide Principality's colors are a deep red with a pair of just simple white bars running near the far edge of it.
Okay. And I'm assuming this world won't be so convenient as to have like members of different principalities dress a certain way or wear like distinguishing colors.
In some cases, yes, there are principalities that have a really like strong cultural element.
Yeah.
The blood sails of Infarlin have a very strong Irani vibe to them. But no, most places there's a very, very much a lot of mix of different modes of cultural dress that have kind of melded into this mix of Sarlonen and Elven and Corvair culture that is this weird melange that you see throughout the principalities. But no, for the most part, people don't wear uniforms.
Well, looks like they're already here. So we'll be arriving, needing to get to work, as it were. I think, generally speaking, as we disembark from the ship, I'll try to lead conversations about our lack of enthusiasm about our current station on the Corofane Principality, just so enterprising ears will overhear our conversation. So just play along like you're unhappy under Leshturga. You've got this. I believe in you.
Thank you.
You're going to do a great job.
Yay.
Finian, I think your level of discontent already will just be able to sail through all of this. So just keep it up.
We'll do fine.
So your ship comes into one of the piers and is hauled in and tied off. And a gangplank is put up against for you to come down. As you come down, there are a couple of people waiting there for you. One of them is a half-elf who's holding a ledger. Standing next to him is a skeleton in armor. And as you come down to the bottom of the gangplank, the half-elf looks as, well, I can see your ship and your colors, your business here.
We are just seeking to venture out. We had heard about Vale being a new settlement, and we're just looking to pleasure, not business. Just come enjoy the town for a bit and then continue on our way. And Orange trying to have a sense of tension about what he's saying not okay. That they're hiding something, but just we need to blow off steam kind of thing.
All right. The The half elf takes a couple of notes in the ledger. It says, right, very good. Well, and how long would you expect to be staying?
No more than a couple of days.
Very good.
If you could point us to the tavern with the strongest libations to offer.
That'll be the Hanged Man. And he points down to a very clearly rowdy bar that's fronts right onto the docks.
Wonderful, thank you. And what do we owe in docking fees?
It's $1 a day.
Excellent. Can we go ahead and prepay for 2 days now?
Certainly.
Wonderful. And Orin hands him 4 silver and just says, for your trouble.
He tucks that away very easily.
And nods at the armored person. And, yeah.
It's late afternoon when you arrive.
Orin
Someone
would
was
try
to ask.
Orin tries to just play like he's just looking around, taking in the sights, but definitely trying to look at the Riptide ship to see, is there a lot of activity? Are there people on it? Does it seem to be empty? Like what's the lay of the land over there?
Sure.
Just stretch,
Yeah. I tell you what, as a group, you're not really trying to hide, but as a group, let me have a investigation or perception check from all 4 of you. You pick to just see what you can pick up about the circumstances at the dock, particularly surrounding the Riptide ship.
22. Wow. Okay.
So 24.
Whoa.
My goodness.
But you did dab, so
And I also got a natural
Did not
20.
air horn. Who
That's
also
true,
got one?
That's growth.
Another
Ellie
20.
also a
Love
natural
that.
20.
You want to dab, Casey? Come on.
I don't.
Just a dab of a dab.
She wants to air horn.
Mia, what did Sahina get?
I rolled a 2 plus 2 for perception, so I got a 4.
There are just so many things to look at here.
There are.
Mia,
Well, and I'm very focused on going, I don't like Leshdurga. I don't like Leshdurga. So I'm distracted.
Mia, would you like to sadly air horn your 4? Would that make you feel better? I thought you were starting the John Cena theme song.
Oh, it's so late.
All the interesting
You
things
did
going.
this.
You can't see me to Mia. Made it work. I love this.
So anyway.
image fantasy world that you've allowed us to play in, Philip. Please
Yep.
continue.
What a sandbox. What a sandbox.
So everything here leans into the slightly gothic, slightly spooky vibe. The people who have built homes here have clearly recognized what the vibe of this place is and have just leaned into it. Even
Hot
though
topic by the sea.
nothing here is more than 30 years old, everything manages to look like it's been here for a really long time. Like none of the buildings manages to look like it's been here for a really long time. You've got chimneys that kind of lean a little bit crookedly, and things that look way too weather stained. And everyone's in kind of darker, drabber clothing than in many of the principalities. So one thing that would definitely be noticeable, regardless of the success of your perception checks, is there are a lot of dead people here. And many of them are walking around. You see skeletons walking around, occasionally someone who's, it might be impolite to point out, but definitely a zombie.
Don't want to be rude.
I know.
Is that an appropriate term? Is that a slur for the undead, or is that?
I know. I was just wondering.
Can we say zombie?
The streets are being swept as you're walking along with big push brooms. No one is visibly wielding them.
Oh.
The mayor is Tim Burton here, I'm assuming.
And as you approach the hanged man, there's at least a very lifelike actual corpse hanging under the sign.
I was legitimately going to ask.
Gross.
Okay.
Does he go?
But you are trying to get it. But most of you were trying to pay attention to the Riptide ship. So you can see the ship there at the dock. All of you who succeeded rolled quite high, and so you get a lot of detail here. You can see that there are a handful of, and by handful I mean but you can see 4. You can see that there are 4 armed guards patrolling the deck, which strikes you as a little unusual when it's in dock. Like, having armed guards on a cargo ship isn't that strange. You might encounter pirates or monsters or any number of things, but when you're in dock, there's not much reason for that.
What's our distance from the ship?
How close do you want to get to the ship?
Is the hangman in the opposite direction of the ship?
The hangman fronts the docks. It's not necessarily like right in front of their ship, but it's not a great distance from it. The hanged man's not within 30 feet of the ship. You'd have to go down the pier a little bit to get most of the ship in range of your lens.
I'm not ready to commit to that. I just wanted to know if I could do it without. So, heard.
Okay. All right. So yes, you see that. You see the name of the ship is Whisper.
Okay.
And it's by appearance a cargo ship. It doesn't look at all like a warship. Looks like the kind of ship you would expect for having a large hold and carrying a lot of cargo.
Appear to be any crew or anything on the ship, or is it empty while it's docked?
You can see 4 armed guards patrolling the deck, but that's the only crew you see.
Oh, the deck of that ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Thought you were saying the dock around the ship. Good to know.
Oh no, the deck.
Thank you.
And as you get close to the hanged man, the corpse sign raises a hand and goes, "Hello."
Hello.
Right, sword down here, Orin.
Let's go inside.
Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
You too.
I think I can walk close enough to be able to get a decent look at what's on that ship without having to board it or try to get much farther than on the dock itself. If you'd like me to take a few minutes, I can head down there, try for a nonchalant look, and come back.
Orin pats Finny on the shoulder and says, full voice, not whispering, "Sure, stretch your legs a bit. We'll grab a table, and it's been a while on that ship, so yeah. Take a walk about, and we'll be waiting for you."
Right. Cheers. And Finian heads back outside.
All right. So those of you who go in to the Hanged Man, it is a larger pub than the Molting Phoenix, and it is rowdy, as any good pirate pub should be. There is a variety of people here, and most of the tables are filled. The bar is being kept by a dwarf, although he has several skeletal assistants who seem to be doing the ones actually fetching the drinks. He seems to be taking the orders and managing things that way. Yeah.
No, nothing. Continue. I was going to make a dumb pun. Keep going.
And all of the lights in here appear to be produced by bound will-o-wisps.
Wait. How sentient are will-o-wisps?
What's a will-o-wisp?
Great.
He did that on purpose. He knew.
Great.
Will-o-wisps are undead spirits. They're not corporeal. They don't talk. What they're famous for is luring people out into bogs or out into forests to their doom.
Evil.
Ooh.
Suddenly
So
remembering
freeing them
my
would do
playthrough
more
of Ori.
harm?
Seems like them being contained is actually a net good for the world, so maybe we don't take a moral stance here and now.
Well, that is a moral stance, but maybe the stance here is they're doing a great job.
I would, however, love the three of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
It'll be fine.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Oh.
Our wise character. Tell us about it.
Natural 1 for a total of 3.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
13.
13.
Talent, mental fortitude. Once per short rest, when you fail an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma save, you can choose to re-roll the save and take the new result.
Ta-da.
15.
Okay. And
Sounds
Sahina?
better.
Nice.
Rolled an 18 and then it would be a +2, right?
All right.
Yeah, so dirty 20, I guess.
Cool. You know, the thought passes through all of your heads, but then doesn't really lodge as you're examining these lights. The thought passes through all of your heads, but doesn't really lodge that this is a really great pub, and be a good idea to stay here and you know,
That's fun.
drink a while.
Very good. Very, very good.
But it doesn't really like lodge in anything like that. No compulsion takes root.
This is a really great pub, you guys.
Does seem nice. If not to
Keeps
this
nary a thought to herself. That's amazing.
So you said most of the tables, all the tables are taken? Most of the tables?
Mostly. It's crowded.
Is there any kind of distinguishing cultural touch point or something that would allow us to recognize the Ashfords from Red Watch?
Make an investigation or insight check.
We'll do insight. Have a +4. That is, I'm going to use 2 points of luck to roll a d6 in addition to, I'm sitting at 11.
Okay.
That gets me to a 17. Rolled a 6.
Oh,
Nice.
so Hannah, you would have gotten a luck point for your very bad perception check earlier.
Ah.
Ba-da-ba-da.
You. I'm sorry, Eric. You ended up with a 17. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 17.
Okay.
Insight.
Right. So it. You know what? They're the rivals of your principality. What makes someone from the Riptide Principality stand out?
Big stupid faces.
All of them have big faces. Like their faces are just too big for their heads.
They are giant pop figures.
It's the opposite of people with giant foreheads. Their eyes are up here.
This just became a Rick and Morty
Fever
issue.
dream.
I know. Oh my God, I know.
No, I would say because, Coral Fang was founded by Lesh Durga, who follows kind of the Dakani lifestyle. I imagine something that would just continue to occur is if they are a lot more like frivolous and lavish in their demeanor and decorum. So maybe a little bit more flashy in their dress. That kind of thing. Posh.
Okay. Yeah. Posh. Excellent. Okay. So, I said there's no uniforms and livery, but maybe the Ashfords are the type of people who their ships have livery. You know?
And fancy hats.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Just now thinking of the Three Musketeers movie with Charlie Sheen and like just the giant feathers and Oliver Platt. Yeah.
Can we bring back hats with plumage?
Some of us appreciate a good hat.
Yes, please. Yes.
As long as capes can also come back, I'm down.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
sorry. I have to
Be
take
done.
a quick side tangent to talk about the time that me, Colin, and Philip watched that movie while we were in college. And
So
then
good.
as a bonus feature on the DVD was the music video that was sung by
yes.
Bryan Adams, Rod Stewart, and Sting called All for One, All for Love.
and all
What
for
a-
love.
And we sang that song at the top of our lungs 3 times in a row. And there was no psychotropic or inhibition prohibitive substances.
Sober.
All of us just sober.
I'm so envious of that experience.
And thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
I am.
That's
I feel no shame about how much I love that movie.
It's outstanding.
So good.
Outstanding.
And that song. Song is wonderful 90s cheese. Like it is.
It's so cheesy.
The music
That was
video
a
has clips
thing
from
for
the
a
movie.
while. It was a
Yeah.
thing for a while of every credits had to have a power ballad score over it.
Yeah.
Bring that back with hats with plumage. This
Yeah,
is our
And
movie.
capes.
That was to swashbuckling what Young Guns was to the Western.
Yes.
Wow, that is an outstanding
I
comparison.
Anyway,
So we see
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland, Charlie Sheen, and Oliver Platt singing it.
100% done. Sold. Yes, there are 2 pretty handsome dudes with mullets and goatees.
Yep.
And then a heavy-set man with a bandana around his head and a lot of beads in his hair for some reason. I feel like Oliver Platt had beads worked into his hairpiece for some reason. Maybe I'm failing to remember that rightly. But he was certainly much more piratey
Yes.
than the others. But yeah, sold. Are sitting at a table enjoying a meal with drinks.
Is there a table near them that is empty?
Sure.
Go ahead, Casey.
We as long as we can see them, I can know what they're saying.
Oh.
Wow.
So-
yes.
If you don't want to be beside them, we could.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty stellar. I was wanting a table near them so that they could overhear us bemoaning Durga, but if we want to gain intel first, that's a great idea. Like if you want to scout while we get drinks and stuff. I love that.
I could totally sit at the bar and read their lips.
Awesome. Let's go get drinks.
So what's delightful is Eliwise almost looks like a local
Yeah.
in the way that she dresses.
It's amazing.
Because there is a very strong Wednesday Addams vibe to this town. And
I like it here.
Was that Casey or Ellie? I'm not.
Yes. No, Casey is very uncomfortable with all of the dead
Fair.
walking around.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah. Yeah, the dwarf comes over, takes your drink orders.
Do you have any specials?
So Eric comes up with like a full menu for every tavern that he runs in a game.
Seriously?
He does. He really does. Like
I love
every
it.
tavern,
Amazing.
he's got a menu. All of the dishes have some sort of cultural pun. Some of them are really insensitive within Eberron. Specifically within Eberron. Eric's a stand-up guy. But yes. Any specials? The
Orin
dwarf
orders
looks you square in the eye and says, "No."
Excellent. I'll have your darkest rum, please.
Excellent.
And the dwarves' ample eyebrows rise when you say that, and he turns and makes a gesture with one of his hands, and one of the skeletons turns, walks back to the liquor cabinet, and reaches up and takes down a glass, the liquid in which reflects no light, and pours you a small glass, and slides it across, and it really is like it's like looking into ink, but it has a nice sweet smell to it.
This is a real acting journey because Eric hates dark rums, but Orin is going to enjoy it.
You got this.
Yeah.
You'll do fine.
Orin takes a sip. Like he's not here to do shots or anything, but
Yeah,
it's quite good.
it tastes quite good. Assuming that Orin appreciates hard liquor. It tastes quite good as a rum. It kicks you real hard in the mouth, with the alcohol content of it. But it is it's good tasting.
Orin takes a sip. Thank you. That's much better than the goblin swill we have over in Cinderport. Thank you.
Eliwise. Okay. So you are going to use your scrutinous talent
I would like to.
to try and see what they're saying. So
Yes.
you position yourself at the bar. Now, I'm going to say you probably can't get a position at the bar where you can see all three of their faces because they're not sitting along one side of a table.
Facing
They're not getting painted.
Facing you.
Like, just...
Right. Yeah, there's not a Last Supper situation going on here.
Can I
yes.
just jump in? Because I was trying to... That spell sounded familiar. I have it as well.
Yep.
I don't know if...
So you're going to triangulate?
Yeah. If that's not appropriate, it's totally fine.
No,
you absolutely
that's
can
awesome.
do that.
Okay.
You will each
Break
have a
this
part of
down.
what they're... Like, the wonderful thing is I'm imagining the two of you are going to get portions of a conversation and then have to try to reassemble it.
Reenact the conversation, just line for line of what was said.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I want the two of you to make perception checks, and that will determine how successfully you will be able to, in the aftermath of this, feed your two halves of it together into the full thing.
Absolutely ridiculous in the best way.
10 plus 2, so it's 12 for me.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Oh my god. So you were saying they're lined up like the Last Supper.
All right. So what Mia, what Sohaina is facing the heavy set man. And he is in the midst of talking to one of the servers. And he's saying, "No, I'm telling you, this medallion was given to me by the Queen of Stormreach." And the server is sort of just nodding. All of you would know that Stormreach does not have a queen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm extremely disappointed in Eric for not laughing at my reference to the film that he pulled these characters from.
So we've had a massive time jump from the last campaign that was set in Stormreach.
Yeah.
I was taking notes of like, what's happened in the time jump? Why is there a Queen of Stormreach?
Yeah, her name is Arandis Vol.
Gonna mark
No.
out my frantic scratching. So, listen, no. I was
Oliver Platt into it.
I was invested in your world for once, and you can't hold that against me.
Fine.
Oh, shoot. That's bad.
Meanwhile, Ellie was. With your natural 20, you have a very, very clear idea of the conversation that's going on. And what you get, I'm not going to stand here and do all of the dialogue. But
No, come on,
what you
Philip.
get
One man show.
is one of them is saying, so who is this person we're supposed to, how do we know which one of them is the person? And the other is saying, and yes, you can read their accents for some reason. The other one is responds, I don't really know. I know it's a dwarf, but they told us to stay in uniform so that we could be spotted, so maybe they'll link up with us. Well, at least the food's good. And they set to discussing their dinners. Meanwhile, outside, Finian, what are you doing?
Out for a stroll and going to take a leisurely and not hidden walk up as though I'm in pleasant, curious observation and appreciation of Whisper.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you walk
see if
a little ways
anyone-
down the pier.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See if I'm approached or hindered in any way, and try to get inside 30 feet.
Right. You're not hindered. Are able to walk down the pier a little bit. You get within 30 feet. Now, this is a large ship.
Yep.
And so obviously you're not going to get the whole ship within a 30-foot range of you at any given point. But you can certainly begin to walk down along the pier that she's tied up at and get a...
In comparison to Traveler's Gift, this would be twice our size.
Yeah. This is very much a ship made for carrying a bunch of cargo. It's not made for speed, and you don't see gun ports or anything, so it doesn't appear to be designed for battle. This is a hauler.
Okay, and the pier would extend how far towards the aft of the ship? How much would be hanging off past?
I would say probably there is about a third of the ship along the pier, with the rest of it out in the harbor.
Okay, then walking as far to the end of the pier as I possibly can. Give it a nice stretch, a piratey adjustment of things as though I'm out for a walk, and a quick tap for X-ray to see what I can see.
Okay. So there's 3 levels to this ship. There's an upper deck, and then you can see you're clearly looking into a crew quarter of some kind on a crew deck, and then the lower portion that's a little above the waterline and then extending down below the waterline is a cargo hold that is full of boxes and barrels and various other parcels and packages. At the moment, you don't see anyone in the crew compartment that you're looking into.
And along the top, it's still just the 4 armed guards?
It is. One of them seems to have noticed you and walks down, not looking super aggressive. You're just walking at the moment. There's nothing about you that's threatening. And walks down towards you, sees you wave. He gives a little bit of a nod. Is there anything I can help you with?
Oh, if you got answers to questions, maybe. It's pure curiosity, lad. I'm just in now, new to crewing myself, been at sea but not mattering, and I can't say I've seen a ship of this size in quite some time, and we're a small crew. I'm just taking a look at thinking through the logistics. I'm a bit of an engineer of sorts, and I just don't even know how you manage to crew a thing like this, if I'm honest. It's overwhelming at the size.
Well, make a deception check. It's not very hard. You're not trying to get anything particularly fancy out of this, but
doing this as he approached, finished the wave, hand to the medallion. That will give me my inspire, so I can add a d6 to my check. So it'll be a 15.
Okay, nice. Well, a lot of the minor things are handled by enchantments, but
right, yeah.
There's a substantial crew, a lot of rigging, and loading and unloading is challenging once we get to where the rest of the cargo is going. Once we get to where the cargo is going, there's about 30 sailors.
Now, you see, for me, lad, I can't even comprehend having that much of a crew aboard. I'm not accustomed to more than like 15 at the most, so y'all are sizable for my standards. It's impressive, though.
Must stay in local waters, I suppose.
Oh, well, I'm not hauling cargo of any import to anyone, that's for sure. Most local, yeah. And I'm not doing any of the import. I'm fixing mostly.
Right, yes. Very well. Good evening to you.
To you as well. Appreciate
Finian,
it.
will you give me an insight check?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's just gonna live the way it is. That's what do I get for 2 luck points? What do I get to add to a roll?
A d6.
We're gonna spend both of them then. That's gonna give me a 14.
14. Okay. He seems flustered, like he might have accidentally said something that he didn't intend to say at some point in that conversation.
Noted, but I'm not gonna hinder him if
Right.
the armed man is
starts
flustered and friendly.
He starts to move away back on his patrol.
Seeing what I've seen and not wanting any more attention, Finian will head back towards the pub.
All right. And as you come back into the Hanged Man, we will leave this episode there as our crew continues their investigation. Thank you all so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this. If you'd like to get in touch with us or find any of our other excellent timing. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can find links for all of the cast down there, as well as links to our merch store and to the Discord and to everything else. Leave us a comment, give us a like. New episode of Blades and Betters will be out on Monday. And until next time, thanks for rolling with us.